to mature. So these are just some of the things that begin to happen when you're in an insecure attachment with someone.
Great. Eh, that is a lot of work.
Mhm.
That's a lot of work. You know, building a relationship in itself is so much work. You know, the two of
Yeah.
you thinking about, I mean, what next to do, thinking about your tomorrow, your future, and everything. And then one person is so insecure that they are stifling you.
Yeah.
You're trying to build a relationship and grow together, yet there is no trust. So that becomes another project, you know?
Yeah.
And then you would have ended up thrashing somebody's confidence as well.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you survive in such a thing? But well, that's the reason we're having this conversation.
Conversation.
Let me come to you, Reverend Kofi Wati.
Hi, Edem. So, as has already been said by Ariel and Phoebe, living or being in a relationship where one party feels insecure can be emotionally draining and very unhealthy for the other party because they have to constantly try to appease this person who feels insecure. They have to constantly reassure them. They have to watch their every step. They have to watch their every move, everything they say, every action, because they don't know what they will do that will trigger their insecurity in the other person. It also breeds so much mistrust, and you know, when you feel so distrusted, at some point you give up on trying to give off your best because it appears that all the good things you do are overlooked while this person is only focused on the things that he suspects, or he or she suspects that you're doing, or he or she thinks that you do, that makes them feel so insecure. And so it is a very dangerous thing where a spouse at some point may just, or a spouse or a partner may just give up trying to give off their best. Additionally, it keeps both parties actually on edge because, you just, there's so much uncertainty. You don't know when this person is going to throw tantrums, when they're going to go cold because of the suspicions that they have about you. So generally, it's very unhealthy for the person on the receiving end of in a relationship where one party feels very insecure.
Kofi, thank you very much for nailing those ones because I had written it down that look, sometimes you will have to water down your own emotions for them.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
almost to the point where you will have to accept it in the relationship that you do not matter.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
That's the only time
Yeah.
that you will have
Yeah.
peace.
Yeah.
So
Anytime
you become a people pleaser.
exactly.
Yeah.
You know, you will have to smile when you don't want to smile.
Yeah.
You will have to be there even when you don't want to be there. You have to be
Yeah,
present when you don't even want to be present.
Yeah.
And you
exactly.
can't freely communicate that and say
Yes,
that, oh, perhaps I really am not able to do this. No, you can't. Because now
mhm,
you have the task of
exactly.
being
Adjusting.
approved by them.
Yeah,
You know, you have the task of being approved by them. So everything you're doing, you're asking yourself, will it trigger them? Will they
exactly.
be approving of it? Will it make them happy? Will it bring peace? And this is all from their point of view, and that can be draining. Three things I hope we have time to look at. Next I want us to talk about how this presents. Okay, if you have an insecure person, you are dating or you're, with an insecure person, or you're married to an insecure person, how does this present? So for instance, if you go to the hospital and um you go complaining, now the presenting will be what you're seeing. What are you seeing? Okay, I'm coughing. Are you bringing out flames? Yes. What color is it? Is this? Yeah, they do. So those are the presentations, and then by the time you're done saying all of these things, and then maybe a few labs here and there, the doctor is able to tell you this is what is wrong with you. So what would this insecure person be doing? What are some of the things they do in the relationship that will make us say that this person is insecure, so that we are able to look out for some of these things? I've been doing some reading around this, and I saw some accounts, right, 2 days ago, about this guy who, um, I think it was around, the lady said it was around 8 p.m. thereabout, and he had a distress call. It was from a client who, and so she said she put the phone on speaker, right? And the guy apologized profusely for calling at this time, because the lady had said that after 5:30 p.m. I really don't want to work, because and apologized profusely because he was in such distress that he needed some advice immediately, otherwise, and apologized. The husband was listening and everything. Then he said, okay, great, what is it, go on. And then they had to do something, so quickly did it. And all of this while her phone was on speaker, so you don't say anything. Right the next morning, the husband is asking her to quit her job. If people will be in trouble and be calling you around this time, then I am asking you, first of all, hand over all your passwords and everything to me. And then I think that you should prepare to quit your job within the next 2 months. And that became something else. So they're insecure to the point where you can't have a private life, because they are making certain unnecessary demands on you. And she said when she said she wasn't going to, quit the job, she became a punching bag. The least thing, you're cheating, is because you want to have access to men, is because you want to have this, then and to the point where she had to leave the marriage. It was just about a year-old marriage, and she walked away. So I want us to look at some of the things insecure people do in a relationship. Ariel, are you able to help us with some of these?
Yeah. Okay. So some of the traits you can find in insecure people is the fact that they always want to be validated.
Okay.
There's this need to feel what they are doing is good, and you find them valuable, very valuable. Always affirm, who they are. You are good at this. Oh, yeah. And sometimes they will say things like, "I didn't you see what I did?
True.
You didn't say anything about
True.
it." They're always seeking external validation, because they themselves are unable to validate themselves. They themselves are unable to see their worth or the good things that they have, which everybody has one. The other thing is, insecure people are extremely sensitive. So you may have a partner who shows sensitivity in the slightest thing that, may not be something that someone will react to. Sensitivities like, why you like something that they don't like, this comes to sometimes your dreams. Maybe you like something, or even a car you like. Maybe you're dreaming of having a Range Rover, but they don't have that kind of growth mindset to say, hey, I can get it. And so you as a partner, you always want to get nice things. They are sensitive to these little
So
things.
what do they do by way of being sensitive?
By being insensitive, they always tell you that you want too much. Why do you want this? Why do you want that? And some of them is, you always like freedom. They always condemn you for what you think are your needs. They condemn you. So let me put it like that. Really? They condemn you. Some of the insensitivity is emotional sensitivity, where they always feel, oh, I'm hurt. You've done something and I'm hurt. And so they're always feeling hurt about anything you do that maybe shouldn't have caused. You didn't call me today. You didn't come home early. I sent you a message. It took 2 hours before you responded. Because for them, while you haven't responded, they are sitting there thinking, maybe she's chatting with someone. I see her online. What is she doing? What is he doing? He's still online and he hasn't responded to my message. So sensitive in almost everything, and you just can't see which one will become the next insensitivity in such a person. The next thing is, they like to be perfectionists, because they want to be felt as worthy. They want to be validated. They want everything they do to be perfect. And they expect that kind of perfection in the people in their life. So everything you do, they'll tell you it's not perfect. Sometimes even how you put something down, they will tell you it's not perfect. The way you arrange things, they'll tell you it's not perfect. The way you drive, it's not perfect. I mean, almost everything you do, they always want to be perfect.
But for them, I mean, they will tell you they care. It's because they care.
Yes. They will tell you because they care about you. That's why they are asking, I mean, all this of you. And the other one is comparing themselves to others. They compare themselves to others, and sometimes they will think what people are doing, it's they are doing it because of them, to affect them. So such people, you will see them always thinking somebody has gossip about me, the way they looked at me, they are looking at me because of this. Did you see how they behaved when we came in? And so they are always comparing themselves with others, thinking that others
What
are
is
looking
this?
down on them. You don't respect me. You spoke to this person this way. Why did you say, all this? So if you want to tell who an insecure person, it will be different for each individual too, based on what their insecurities are. Because some people have personal insecurity, which is more about their outlook, their body, how they dress, what they wear, and all that. I mean, some people have insecurity socially, some people have insecurity emotionally and career for the work they do. They look down on themselves because of what they do. So depending on where you are with them and which kind of insecurity they are dealing with and how they can be triggered or what symptoms they will show. Somebody who may be a mechanic and maybe going out with someone who works at the bank may show certain different insecurities when they go to a social. Please, a mechanic is a very good job. I need my car fixed, but they don't see the value of who they are being a mechanic, and so you may go out with them because maybe you have a shop. Let's say you have a boutique or you have a store, you sell clothes, and you're going out with someone who, if they have occupational insecurities or career insecurities, anywhere you go with them, they think you are talking to this person because he works here. So the symptoms for people who are insecure will vary from individuals. And so as an individual, you need to always study your partner to know what is making this person do that. And I tell people, when you're in a relationship, you need to know your partner more than you know yourself, because knowing them helps you to create healthy boundaries for yourself. So these are
Ultimately,
some of the things you're going to go through.
for such a person, just sleep in the house and cover yourself with a cloth.
People
Asa.
end up like that, and then they don't have a social life.
You don't
And
have a life,
people,
actually.
yes, I mean, I've seen a lot of people struggling just because they're in a relationship where they can't have a life.
Because they love the person. I love you.
No comments.
I want to be here with you. And so I will endure. And then we are okay. Kofi, you've been laughing, sir. When I said, you know you know that you are a mechanic and this person is somebody else. You know that you will be feeling insecure around them. Didn't you know before getting into the relationship? That one is your own fault. Don't bring any problems here. Yes, Kofi, that's just by the way.
So to add to the need for validation, they constantly seek reassurance. They will be asking you, do you love me? Do you really love me?
I do.
How do you see us together in the next 5 years? I mean,
Edna, it's a serious matter.
do you still have feelings for your ex-wife or even your deceased husband? I mean, they're as Ariel said, they're always comparing themselves to other people, and so again, these signs may show that the person feels very insecure. These are some of the symptoms. And then secondly, they tend to exhibit controlling behavior. They require extreme accountability. They want to know pretty much everything you do. They want to keep tabs on you. They want you to check in every time, to the extent that maybe your job may not even allow you to keep your phone when you're at work. But if they call you and they cannot reach you, it's a problem. If you come home and, I think all of us have times when we just simply don't feel like talking. or we get into some moods, and sometimes, especially for us men, it's not because there's something wrong, and I'm sure women have that too. So if your spouse comes and you're quiet, hey, it means you're thinking about the other person,
Ah.
or you're falling out of love with me because yesterday you had a good chat with me, but today you're not smiling at me. Today you haven't said whatever, something that they've become accustomed to you doing. So this is a way of controlling you, getting you to behave in a certain way with things that you don't ordinarily do. You will keep trying to do it just to reassure them. And then again, this can be draining. And as Ariel rightly said, they become overly sensitive and emotional about every little thing, the things you do and the things you do not do. So these are some of the signs. They want reassurance, they are controlling, and they become sensitive and emotional.
Phoebe, anymore?
Yeah, there are so many. Gosh. This is one thing that you can notice from someone who's insecure. They will constantly test you. They will set you up to try and catch you off guard or to catch you actually
Yeah,
doing
that's
something
true.
that in
Yeah.
quotes you're not supposed to do.
Yeah.
They will
Yeah.
show up at your
Manipulation.
workplace unannounced. They will show up at an event they were not supposed to be at. They will call you and question you and ask you to constantly verify, confirm, become like a CIA agent. They are just constantly investigating your whereabouts. I know a couple where the lady would be saying, for instance, oh, I just stopped at Accra Mall to get something. And the gentleman would drive to Accra Mall to verify that she's there because he's not sure. Because you say, no, you said you're going to be at Grandma. I need to make sure you're there. So they're constantly testing you to make sure that you are where you said you were going to be. Another thing, too, is their standards keep changing. So they keep telling you that, okay, this is what I expect from you, but it keeps shifting and changing with their own insecurities. So, for instance, they would say that, okay, I expect you to pick me up, take me to work, I expect you to do this. But then it intensifies over time as the insecurity gets deeper. That's why you shouldn't fuel the insecurity because it will get worse. Something that would maybe at the very beginning, the symptoms were very mild, it will get more intense as time goes on, especially if your whole life evolves around making sure that everything they require from you is met exactly as they want it. It's going to increase. They're going to say, no, I don't want you to spend the weekends with your mom. I want you to spend it with me. That's another thing. They have serious abandonment issues. They don't want you far away from them. They can't be sure that you are where you're supposed to be or that you're being faithful to them. So they are constantly feeding off you emotionally. And so their coping mechanism is just to ensure that you are the person, like we've said earlier, you're constantly validating them, you're constantly making them feel good. So you have to be there with them round the clock. Another thing too is yeah, that they make you become very vulnerable. So as much as they keep accusing you of cheating or being unavailable, whatever it is, it actually makes you more susceptible to doing those things that they're accusing you of, because you're actually not getting that assurance yourself emotionally. You're not getting that support emotionally from that person. You're being drained. So it's affecting your mental health, it's affecting your emotional health, and it's weakening you. So you become more susceptible to someone else who probably is more understanding, who is validating you and making you feel better about yourself. Because after a while, these insecurities will also transfer to you. So anybody that's around you that seems to appreciate you even more may become more attractive. And who knows, you may actually end up doing the very thing that they've accused you from the beginning.
Wow. So there we have it. When these things are ongoing, you should know that you're dealing with an insecure person. There's one question I want to ask, but I don't want time to beat us. So I'll leave that one. Ask this very one that is important, very, very important. The way we have time, I could bring that one up. So, yes, now we know, who an insecure person is. We know how this presents or the symptoms, the things to look out for to know that you're probably or most likely dealing with somebody who is insecure. We know how this impacts your life as an individual and how this impacts the relationship. So what do we do? How do we deal with it? What do we do? Before then, I would so that's the next important question I am asking us. Now that we know all of these, what do we do? Cereal with milk is fortified with Nutri-V, which contains 16 essential vitamins and minerals, including zinc, iron, and calcium to aid in baby's healthy growth. It comes in 3 delicious flavors: maize and wheat, rice and wheat variants, and 3 unique pack sizes: 50 gram, 400 gram tea, and 350 gram block bottom pouch. Get the pack size that best suits your family needs. Yum Vita, it's a delicious way to go. And for your eye care challenges, we urge you to look no further. Amasha Partners Limited and Eye Care has it all. Your eyes deserve the best care and quality designer eyeglasses. And Amasha Partners and Eye Care undertake the following services. They supply designer frames. They also will test your sight for you, supply of lenses, sunglasses, contact lenses, ophthalmologist in attendance, and general treatment. Places to locate them: Trade Fair. They are opposite the Trade Fair. Sprinters, you find them adjacent to ICGC, the Community 18 Junction, that is. McCarthy Hill, they are opposite Benjay Lodge. Not Kanishi, they are up there at the not Kanishi, Swan Lake, they are opposite the Green Hand Junction. Go to Achimota, second floor, Densua Plaza, that's where you find them. And in Takrade, Axim Road, opposite the CBG Bank. In Ho, you will find them opposite the Housing Junction. Kumasi, they are the airport's roundabout. Kolebu, opposite ECG, and in Kufuridwa you'll find them on the Central Hospital Road. And when you come to Tema, they are inside Community 1, that's the Meridian Plaza. Numbers to call: 0302-939-850 and 0302-778-827. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And go on and enrich your breakfast with the nourishing goodness of Dano Milk Cool Cow Instant Powdered Milk. The rich taste of Dano Milk makes a perfect combination with your tea, oats, cocoa, and others to give you that great tasting breakfast you've always desired. Dano Milk Cool Cow is fortified with vitamin A and is also a good source of protein and nutrients such as vitamin B12 and iodine to help keep you nourished and strong always. Dano Milk is affordable and in a shop near you. Dano Milk. Choose Dano Milk today for your nourishment and build your strength every day. Dano Milk, go for it. And remember that this advert is FDA approved. If you missed it earlier, I am reminding you again about Yum Vita infant cereal, which is fortified with Nutri-V and contains 16 essential vitamins and minerals, including zinc, iron, and calcium to aid in baby's healthy growth. It comes in 3 delicious flavors: maize and wheat, rice and wheat variants, and also in 3 unique pack sizes: the 50 gram, the 400 gram tea, and the 350 gram block bottom pouch. Get the pack size that best suits your family needs. Yum Vita, always a delicious way to grow.
Yum Vita is fortified with Nutri-V, which contains 16 essential vitamins and minerals, including zinc, calcium, and iron for your baby's healthy growth. Young Vita, a delicious way to grow. This advert is FDA approved.
In life, choice is good, but choice plus safety is way better. Your safety and comfort is paramount. Under the cylinder recirculation model, you can buy LPG in a safe environment. All cylinders are inspected and maintained to the best safety standards, so your safety is assured. Just take your empty cylinder to the nearest exchange point and swap it for a filled cylinder. Different cylinder sizes will be available to meet your pocket size. Imagine cooking in a smoke-free environment. This will improve the health and well-being of you and your family. Choose LPG in a safer model of distribution. Cylinder recirculation model. Securing your safety. Creating more jobs. A message from the National Petroleum Authority under the patronage of the Ministry of Energy.
Sankofa natural spices.
Ebusia enia nomnia dofo ene me kanfo Sankofa natural spices ene di amawo Sankofa natural spices die eye 100% natural ye de Ghana ye nia ye local spices no ena aye ye mfremu o enchini bi anim sichire o MSU color o preservatives bi animu ntia ye krojin ye wa curry noodles fish stew ni gravy soup ginger ni garlic ye wa jollof ena ye sansu wa chicken ni beef Sankofa natural spices dear ne bon edda for mangaza into upedudu etua for 0555 603 143 for Sankofa natural spices new aduane di natural yemao di Sankofa
FDA agi ejedi nkratu yatu.
There's going to come a time that the church will rise as the highest of all the mountains, and saviors will be raised in the church to deal with the world system. And let it be now. We need to have a national focus. We don't have to lose this ambition, or else we work against the Great Commission.
They are equipped in righteousness, the agenda to possess the nations. Welcome to an equipping center of the word and prayer on Pentecost Hour. Pentecost Hour comes to you on Joy 99.7 FM, 1:30 p.m. every Sunday.
Thank you for staying with us. It's Home Affairs. We're live on Joy 99.7 FM. Also on our social media handles 055-1111-997. That's where you are able to interact with us. Also on our social media handles at Joy 997 on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, now what X. And we're also on YouTube. Handle is at Joy 997. Want to interact directly, it's Edem Knight-Tay, EDEMKNIGHT-TAY on Facebook. You can DM me, we can have conversations. But back to my guest. Yakohwa koye niense say yakoye already. Now we want solutions. So what do we do when we find ourselves with our loved ones who are like this? I want to believe it's a form of a disorder, you know. And you found yourself with them already. You're in love with them. You wish it will work. And you know that you're unable to change them in a day. Maybe they won't change. They will choke you like that to the end of, you know, the relationship or the end of your life, whatever it is. And you also don't want to get out of it. So what do we do when we find ourselves with people like this?
So, I mean, we mentioned this the first edition of the show, that insecurity is coming from past experiences and an emotional trauma, and most of it stems from an unmet need. that somebody had previously that was not met. And so if you find yourself dealing with an insecure partner, you need to let them know you care about them. As much as you may think by being in love with them to let them know, there's a need to now extend support and understanding to them. And first thing I like to say is you need to accept that I'm dealing with an insecure person. If you don't accept that this is an insecure person who might have had some trauma or an unmet need in one life experience, you will always be angry. You get angry, you fight them. Why are you like this? Why are you like this? But once you make that acceptance that this guy or this lady is insecure, now when they do things, you have more clarity on how to deal with it. And one of the things you can do is to extend support and understanding to them, is to let them know you care about them. And another thing you can do that will help the relationship is to sometimes have conversations with them about their past. The more conversations you have with them about their past, the more you're going to get to understand why they behave and act the way they act, because they will share stories with you. And they will share school time stories with you. They will share growing up time stories with you. They will share maybe their first relationship stories with you. And then you will be able to tell some of the things that they have dealt with and understand why maybe when they see something similar to those things, they act the way they act. Another thing you can do is to create a good time to spend with them. An insecure person wants to always be with you, but that is not possible. And so the fact that they always want to be with you becomes a problem already. But if you're able to cultivate and create good intimate time, good quality time with them, and let them assure them that you are all for them. I mean, we are not saying assure them at the detriment of your own self, but you love this person. So what would you do? Kind gestures. Is it calling them once in a while during the day unexpectedly? Is it gifting them once in a while, not because it's their birthday? These are things that you can do to show them you care about them and they are important in your life. Right. Another thing to let them feel important is, if you're in a relationship with a partner, then if you're married, there are important decisions you're making with them. There are children, maybe you are now going to have children or you have children. Talk about the important things with them and let them know you value that importance they have in your life. This can sometimes shift them from their feeling little in your life, and so it makes them feel valued. And with time, they'll start seeing themselves. And have good conversations with them. It will help them feel secured. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Let me come to you, Kofi.
All right. So first of all, you have to let them know that you are not solely responsible for the success of the relationship, of the marriage or relationship, whatever situation you may find yourself in, so that they don't focus only on you and your actions and inactions to determine whether or not the relationship is going to succeed, because then that puts too much pressure and burden on you. As a way of reassuring them, help them to focus on some of the positive things that you do. Your acts of kindness, your expression of affection, and then even your presence, the fact that you're there all the time. You come home. The fact that you're there for them emotionally, you're there for them financially, and so on and so forth, so that they will see that you may not be as bad as they think you are. Yeah. Also, help them to zoom in on the specific actions or inactions that you do that makes them feel insecure, instead of generalizing and being emotional about everything and making general comments such as you don't love me. What does me not loving you mean? Is it because of something I do not do? Is it because of something that I do? Be specific. So that would help you to correct any such things that you do that are not helpful to them. Lastly, suggest that both of you or they seek counseling, because at some point you may come to the realization in a relationship that certain things are beyond the two of you, and sometimes you have to invite a third party or seek the help of a third party to help you through or overcome the causes of your insecurity.
Thank you very much, Kofi. You know, we didn't mention when we were looking at the symptoms that sometimes they're very abusive too.
Yeah,
of course.
passive
They can be
aggression.
Emotional abuse.
Yeah,
They can-
passive
Emotional
Well,
aggression.
sometimes they can be
I think
verbally
the
abusive
first session
as
I
well.
mentioned that
You
they have, it's an abuse in itself to be insecure. Yeah, they're
you know.
abusive.
I mean, because they are insecure, and you know, especially so when they are accusing you consistently of infidelity, they sometimes end up with name callings
Yeah.
and all of those things, and that could also affect you. But yes, we are learning about how you should be able to deal with some of these people, you know, support and understand them, have good conversations with them, create time and have good conversations with them, and also discuss important things. We're also learning that you should let them know that you are not solely responsible for the success of the relationship. Everybody has a part to play in that relationship. Help them to focus on your acts of kindness, you know, instead of just leaving them to just wander. Also, help them to zoom into the specific things you do that, you know, trigger them, so that you can have conversations around it. And indeed, if you also look into yourself and you realize that, okay, yeah, these things are triggers, then you begin to work on them very quickly and seek counseling if need be. Phoebe.
Yes, Edem.
Okay. So we want to know what to do. We've had some points shared. A few more from you.
You know, I just wanted to give some, illuminate the challenges that an insecure person sometimes is dealing with. Ariel already highlighted that it's definitely a need that was unmet, most likely during their childhood. And what eventually happens is that they develop an insecure attachment style. And looking at the attachment styles, most likely they are dealing with the ambivalent attachment style. So these are the people who struggle with, they crave close relationships, but they're not able to trust others. They become overly focused on their partners, they lose sight of other aspects of life. They have problems recognizing and honoring boundaries. Jealous or anxious when separated from their partner, and they use guilt trips and other manipulative tactics to control their partner. Also, they need to receive constant reassurance from their partners. We talked about this, but it helps to put it within the context. A person is struggling with an unmet need from their childhood, and they are expressing this obviously in in an unhealthy manner. So what do we do to help this person? First thing we need to do is we need to call it out. It's not enough to keep fueling that insecurity. We need to call it out. And what we are focusing on is not the actions, it's the person's response. Because we've already acknowledged that the trigger could be anything. These triggers change from day to day. You need to call it out. You need to let the person know that. Have you recognized that this is how you react when I do this, when I do this, when I do that? Sometimes we assume that they know what they are doing, but sometimes they don't, especially with something that is rooted deep within them, especially from their childhood. We need to let them come to an understanding that what they're doing, their behavior pattern is unhealthy. So you shouldn't fuel the insecurity by trying to please them at every single point in time. And the second thing that you as the individual need to do is to understand your personal needs, understand what you also require from the relationship, and express that to them. Like Kofi said, the relationship cannot be solely dependent on you. And so you need to help them to start to understand that there's a shared responsibility, emotional need from, across the board. It's not just focused on one particular person.
Yeah.
And then also, you need to possibly, like Kofi had mentioned also, that you need to get help. You need to get people involved and people who understand where the person is also coming from to support the two of you on that journey. It can be very lonely, especially when over time you start to feel isolated, you had not really sharing time with other people, spending time with other people. It is time for people to also help you. And I'm not just saying just everybody, but mental health counselor, it could be a trusted family member. Somebody needs to come into it and start having a conversation between the two of you. Because during that time, what will also happen is that person who is outside the situation can also highlight to that person some of the things that they're doing that is causing issues between the two of you. And so I think these are the steps that we can take so that we can start seeing that person also recovering from what they're dealing with internally.
Hey, I like the bit about call it out. And further try to find out from them if they perchance know how they make you feel by their actions. Sometimes you will get the response, I don't care. Sometimes you will get that response, but it's okay because of where they are. So what we are saying, ultimately is that if you wish to be in that relationship, then you have a lot of work to do because you are the one who is being affected more. So you have a lot of work to do in that relationship to be able to make sure that it is working. Daniela, do we have Kofi on the line? Okay, great. So we have the flower and garden movement is ongoing. I think it will end tomorrow. And we have a rep from, is it Kofi Ba? Yes, so he is on the line. Let me just... Hi, Kofi, good morning.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
I am good. How are you?
I'm blessed.
Okay, great. We started on Wednesday.
Yes, the opening ceremony was on Wednesday, and the show has been going on successfully since then.
So how has it been?
It has been great. We had the opening ceremony on Wednesday. Yesterday, we've had a number of exciting activities and educative activities as well. So as it started, as we launched the event, we had a karaoke night the next day, which was on Thursday. We've had conferences from Green to Riches, so educative conferences and workshops. That was done on Thursday as well. Yesterday, we had Sip and Share, which was a lovely event. We had Renee Q discussing with some ladies about how their personal appearance and their personal brand affects the message, how they communicate themselves, and also had some music last night. And so there's been a lot of exciting activities, but it is all informed by Stratcom Africa and the Ghana Garden and Flower Movement determination and commitment to a greener, cleaner, wealthier, and more healthier Ghana. This year we are focusing on the fight against climate change. And so we are collaborating with each and every one of all of you who are listening, all of you who are attending and have attended, all our partners, all of those who are exhibiting at the event. We are not just focusing on selling flowers, bringing exhibitors to sell flowers, but also letting people understand the benefits of floriculture, agriculture, horticulture, and how it can positively impact our lives individually and also contribute to the socio-economic development of Ghana.
I actually like what this has grown, to become, because we have followed it here at the Multimedia Group for a while. It was, the flower fair, and now it's grown into something else where we are having times, moments on personal branding and, business development and all that. Congratulations to the team. And congratulations to Auntie Esther for, birthing this. Now, so today, tomorrow, what's happening? I know there's a play, right? Is it Thank God for Idiots?
Thank God for Idiots, the Latif Abubakar production. Yeah. So that's going to be today. And prior to that, we have a family fun day. So today is the perfect day for everyone to come. Today and tomorrow, actually. During the weekend, it's a perfect day to come with your family. There's going to be activities for kids to do. There's paint and sip. There's paintball. So fun and games, face painting, all of these before the play that will be done this evening. And then tomorrow we have the Green Innovation Competition and partnership with the Israeli Embassy, where we would, we Ghanaians should rally together and come and support young individuals who have come with innovative solutions for agriculture and floriculture, and of course the awarded person. These pitches will be judged, and the awardee will get an opportunity to go to Israel to learn more about some of these innovations that are being done. So a lot of it, it's an action-packed weekend, and so we encourage and urge everyone to come by, starting from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. each day.
Great.
And the closing ceremony will be tomorrow as well. So your best bet is to come today and come tomorrow as well to close it. That's also the best way to get discounts on the plans, because that is the clearance, the last final day. So I'm giving some appointments tips as well.
Beautiful. And all of this is happening at the A4 Sutherland Children's Park.
Yes, the A4 Sutherland Children's Park.
Thank you very much, Kofi, for talking to us. We will be
Thank
there.
you.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you. So that was Kofi Ba. He is with the team at Stratcom, who are putting together the Ghana Garden and Flower Movement. And we are wrapping up on Home Affairs. Once again, Yum Vita infant cereal with milk is fortified with Nutri-V, and it contains 16 essential vitamins and minerals, including zinc, iron, and calcium, to aid in baby's healthy growth. Some adults eat it too. It comes in 3 delicious flavors: maize and wheat, rice and wheat variants, and 3 unique pack sizes: 50 gram, 400 gram tea, and then the 350 gram block bottom pouch. Get the pack size that best suits your family needs. Yum Vita, always a delicious way to grow. A reality wellness coach, Reverend Kofi Boateng Esquire, and Phoebe Besemete. Thank you all very much for helping us deal with this subject. I am sure that our listeners have picked up nuggets from it. Nobody is saying that you should go and start accusing people. You are very insecure. You are insecure. You are doing all of this. You will get a slap. So, you'll get a very big slap. So don't go and be saying it. Now you have been armed, you have been educated, you know that this person is dealing with some anomaly, and you have also been empowered with tools or with nuggets to be able to handle it. Let's see how we are able to support our partners to get out of that state. And you know, they're very sweet people, right? If they're not in those elements, they're very nice people. Let's see how we are able to do some of these things to ensure that we are tasting and enjoying the sweetness that our partners bring onto the table. Remember that you have your flaws too. You have your down moments too. You're not perfect. So see how your imperfection and your inactions are pushing this person even further to feeling insecure. And together, let's deal with these things and have very beautiful relationships. My name is Edem Knight-Tay. Daniela, thank you for production. Next is Weekend City Show, and this morning, Kofi Hayford is hosting the Weekend City Show. See you all in
Thank
a
you,
bit
Edem.
next week.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.